welcome back to another episode of JP and the Beanstalk. And as you can see to the right of me, it is not JP. JP decided that he would be better off spending his time in Florida this week. The bastard.
Shame.
But you guys probably recognize this guy from, was it last year?
It must have been when Thor came out.
Yeah. So back when Thor 4 was out, our boy Soul came on, and now he's back. So he's going to take over Jordan's spot, and if he does well, Jordan might just be gone.
Let's go.
So,
Stay
Jordan, you've been warned. Okay, you're gonna keep going to Florida on me.
Yeah.
But today, where did I want to start this off? But firstly, some of the topics we're going to be going over today. We're going to be going over casting rumors for Fantastic Four and for Superman, the new one. And then secondly, we're going to go over Across the Spider-Verse, not Into the Spider-Verse. I keep saying Into the Spider-Verse. That's the first one. Across the Spider-Verse for the part 1 of 2 of that movie. And then we'll end with our draft of the Sinister Six.
Let's go.
So, and now usually Jordan has a warm-up question.
Ooh.
So, and that's a good question to start off with. But I don't have one. So we're going to ignore it, and we're just going to keep going.
Jordan's gone.
Yes.
Jordan's no longer part of this.
So why don't we just get right into the casting rumors? Okay. So for Fantastic Four, and how we'll do this is I'll just put one out there, and then we'll discuss if we like that casting or not. Okay? Pretty straightforward. And then we'll just go straight through it. I have 3 actors for the most part picked for each of these roles. The Fantastic Fours is a little bit larger than Superman because there haven't been a lot of other rumors for Superman.
Yeah.
So, casting rumors, Fantastic Four. We'll get right into it. First off, we'll start off with Reed Richards. For those of you who don't know who Mr. Fantastic is, stretchy guy, really smart. Okay? This has been the big one and the leading one.
And so you've heard this for so many years. It's been going around.
And not who you think it is.
Oh.
No, the main one that has been rumored right now is Adam Driver.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Adam Driver has been the main one, and there's even people saying he's already been cast as Reed Richards.
I could honestly see that, surprisingly. I mean, obviously, everyone's heard John Krasinski because it was John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, right? That was the one that was been going around for the last couple of years.
Right.
But now, Adam Driver, I could see it, honestly.
I think he could do it well.
Yeah.
I think he can really play the part of an intelligent, scientist.
Yeah.
Knowing what's going on. I think the way he literates words, I think it just comes off naturally for him. And it'll be really interesting to see him go from a Kylo Ren, for me anyways, because that's the last thing I've seen him in. It was Kylo Ren, where he was just this immature, angry, wanted all the power in the world, and then angsty, and then kind of turn it around at the end, stupidly, to save Rey, right? But to come to see, this is the complete opposite, I feel like, of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, 100%. He's more knowledgeable, intelligent, smooth. He knows what he's very confident, I feel like, was the biggest. I guess both of them were confident, but it's just a very different character.
Right. For Kylo is more arrogance. And for Reed, it's more calculated confidence because he's ran all the numbers, he's tested it.
Logical.
He knows that it's going to work.
Yeah.
Most likely, he knows it's going to work.
Yeah.
He knows the percentage of this might go wrong, but it's probably going to be okay.
I wonder if part of that decision went from, once you see The Office, you can only see Jim as he played obviously in Multiverse of Madness, but it's still to me, it's it's just Jim. And you'll see him look at the camera and you're I just can't get over the fact that I know that that's Jim behind there. So I wonder if that's part of the decision-making process is this going to be a new character that people will see as this person or somebody else that's acting as this person.
Right. And I wonder if that's part of it, or it's the other part is so I'll be honest, I haven't seen John in a lot of other things outside of The Office.
Yeah.
But I don't seeing him as a smart character, I don't know if that really fits I'm not saying he can't do it by any means, but big words coming out of his mouth is going to be a lot different than it coming out of Adam Driver's.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of Reed Richards because is he like that kind of smart as in like some people are really smart but like kind of socially awkward? Is that more Reed Richards or is Reed Richards very like smooth? Because I
Well,
can't see John Krasinski being that socially awkward, like a little bit discluded almost, a little bit like I don't know, distant.
I don't know if he's socially awkward because he did land Sue Storm.
That's fair.
But it's more of I think I think he can get really invested in what he's
Yeah,
doing
okay.
work wise, especially if it's like a world ending threat. Like
Yeah.
if he's going up against Galactus and has to build something, he's that kind of guy that's going to lock himself in his lab for 14 days if he has to, just to figure out a
Right.
solution.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think he would be socially awkward, and I don't think he will be because I think he's got that charm to him a little bit as well,
Yeah.
which I think that's where John would do really well with
Mhm.
is the charm. But Adam Driver could hit that too,
Oh my god.
and I think, like thinking about it, it almost makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Like from a look perspective, I think the guy they casted as Fantastic Four in the original. By the way, the original casting for Fantastic Four was phenomenal.
It was so good.
It was so good.
Unreal.
Whether you like those movies or not, the casting was spot on.
Yeah. What years did those came out pre Iron Man?
Yes, that was around the same time as X-Men, the original X-Men trilogy, and the same time as the Raimi trilogy. So those were all happening around the same time.
Did Sony own those?
No, so Sony owned Spider-Man, and Fantastic Four was Fox,
Oh,
along with
right,
X-Men.
right. Okay, yeah.
Because back with Deadpool, I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one, they were talking about having the Thing or Human Torch guest appear
Yep, okay.
in those movies, I think. But obviously it didn't happen.
Right.
So, yeah. So Adam Driver, number one, and we kind of rolled into John Krasinski as number two. So he was also
Right.
on this list. And then I have Penn Badgley, which I believe he is the main guy in You, the stalker,
yeah,
murderer
I'm only
thing. He definitely has the look. And from what I understand, like in that show, I haven't seen that show. It's all about charisma, obviously, because he's got to seduce all these women into liking him and then
Yeah.
him murdering them or stalking them or whatever he's doing. So I think the intelligence portion and that charisma probably would translate really well
Yeah.
this time just for the side of good people, not bad people. But I don't. So I think he could do it, but I could almost see him more villain-esque, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like just so unfamiliar. Like I wish I would have seen I know I've seen clips of his work, but he does have that kind of just weird stalkery feeling almost. Like it is that like charm that you see from like serial killers. You know what I mean?
What a
Like,
crappy way to get typecasted, by the way,
Yeah.
as the creepy stalker guy.
Yep.
Oh, that
100%.
guy. Oh, man. So to see him come on as Reed Richards would be it'd be a really interesting transition that I'm sure he could pull off. But yeah, I think out of these three, that Adam Driver
It's
one just
gotta
makes
be.
the most sense. And we will come back to Adam Driver because there's another role that he was rumored for before Mr. Fantastic that I
Interesting.
think he would have also been really good at. But I think to have him go from that main, like in his last blockbuster like,
the
movie.
biggest, yeah.
being a villain, I think it'd be a lot of fun to see him step
Yeah.
into that hero role and see what he can do with that.
Yeah. The last thing I saw him in was Marriage Story, which is don't watch. It's the most depressing movie I've ever seen.
And that win an Oscar?
Yeah. It's literally the worst ending of any movie ever.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, it was awful. But it's just, it was so bad. It shows like he's such a good actor too. Like he can really pull it off.
I've seen some clips.
Yeah, and Marvel, like, they're not known for like the best actors, most talented like guys, but they do have really strong actors. But he's like one of those like Oscar award winning actors. If he was in a Marvel movie, he
Right.
would go crazy.
Marvel has a weird way of like, so they have some casting spots where they're like, okay, let's get an up and comer that we can like develop into what we want them to be. And then they have then they have a couple other ones where it's like, oh, these are already well-known names.
Yeah,
let's just throw them in there. Right. So for this, I was like, I think right now they need that star power, especially with all the people they lost. So having Adam Driver step into a Reed Richards makes too much sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he's got the potential to be phase. Well, I don't remember what phase they're coming in. 6, phase 5, phase 6.
I think it's isn't it phase 5? Are they in phase 5 right now?
Can't remember if they end phase 5 or we are in phase 5 right now.
Yeah.
So I think they start off phase 6.
Okay.
Now that we're thinking about it, I think Fantastic Four starts off phase 6. And if they're starting off phase 6, he to me screams the next Iron Man for the next 3 phases.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Reed Richards is your guy.
100%.
It makes too much sense.
Yeah.
The only downside that sucks is it would have been really cool to see him alongside Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
There's still time.
Still time. You're right.
Multiverse.
Wars, we could get it.
Yeah.
We could get it in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Sue Storm, this has been the big one lately that I've heard a lot. Margot Robbie.
Oh my gosh. I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. That's crazy.
Well, for her too, for this blockbuster movie, again, it's one of those things where it's like the complete opposite of what she's known for.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, she's a very talented actress, does a lot of very well done movies, but then she also has her Harley Quinn, where she's that crazy. Like, that's probably what she's known for most.
100%.
So to see her go from that crazy, like, psychotic, I'm going to hit you with a bat, to Sue, who's like
also very intelligent.
Right, mother.
Yeah.
Like that's her main thing is she's a mom. She just takes care of everybody. It's kind of the opposite of Harley Quinn because she's out for herself, essentially, you know?
Yeah.
So it will be interesting.
It's almost harder in like this superhero space to do that jump. Like just of having like another superhero or villain, technically, I don't know, Harley Quinn falls somewhere in there.
She's like they've made her into a Deadpool-esque character, but instead of shading good, she shades more bad.
Right. It's just, go ahead.
Deadpool's anti-hero, shades hero more than villain anymore, but yeah.
She's almost like an anti-villain. Shades villain.
Right.
But it's like, it's hard to pull somebody from that character and then move them to another superhero character without having those like somebody going in and seeing her and be like, oh, that's weird. But they also, Harley Quinn looks very different than Margot Robbie. It is Margot Robbie, but like the way that they portray her in those movies, there's room to put her in different clothes, a different hairstyle, and she'd look like a completely different person.
And she would.
Yeah,
for
100%.
Sure. She would look, because the rumor is too that they're already going to have a family. So they're already going to have kids. Cool. That's the rumor. So Valerie and, what's their son's name? Franklin. Valerie and Franklin will probably already be around, which, if you don't know Franklin's a powerhouse.
Do they both have powers?
Yes.
I'm so unfamiliar with
I don't know what Valerie's is. I want to say she's like her mom, but Franklin is a mutant, and he's like he's Omega level, meaning like he's top of the top. So he's like way OP, like he can create pocket universes and everything. So he's like OP. The kid is like OP. Do
you think they're setting that up for, if they're already alive when this first movie comes out, are they setting it up for the next 10 years to have somebody else that's...
Well, and then you already have mutants rumored to be in it.
Right.
Like they changed Miss Marvel into a mutant from what it sounds like. I still haven't seen that show and I don't plan on it anytime soon.
It's not worth it.
Right. And it sounds like she's going to be a mutant now. So it'll be interesting to see if they're like, oh yeah, straight up he's a mutant, or they kind of allude to it, and just to see that develop.
Yeah.
So man. But so they're getting established. So Margot Robbie is number 1. Obviously we already talked Emily Blunt.
Yep.
Which, does it make sense to cast her as Sue if you don't have John?
I was gonna say, they seem like a package deal there.
Right.
Because John will be there. I mean, from what I've heard, based on their relationship, they're with each other through the movies. So it'd be weird for John to be on set, like, so they have kids, they take their kids with them, and then
Right.
John's the dad on set, watching his wife play someone else after they'd rumored, and I'm sure they've talked to John about it.
Right.
Because rumors don't just come from nowhere. They
Right,
just make
right.
them up. So, I don't know. That's weird.
It's interesting. I think the most interesting thing with John is looking back is him showing up in Doctor Strange, and then it feels weird to not bring him in.
Yeah.
Just because you kind of alluded, like, you guys wanted this so bad. Here
Everyone
he
loved
is.
it.
And right, it had a very good reaction. Everybody's
Yeah.
freaking out. But it's interesting to see if everybody was freaking out because it was John or because it was Mr. Fantastic.
Right.
So yeah, I can't see Emily coming in for this.
Yeah.
I like Margot better. And then the last one that I've seen rumors for was Jodie Comer, which you need to look her up.
Yeah, I have no idea who that
She
is.
definitely has the Sue Storm looks. Like, you could definitely see her being that character. But
Oh, yeah. What's she in? Is she in anything that I would know? Free Guy.
yeah, she's she's the main girl in that, I believe. Man, I haven't seen her in anything, so
Oh, yeah. No, it's all. She's in The Last Duel. She's in Star Wars. I don't remember her being in Star Wars.
she is in Star Wars?
Yeah, The Rise of Skywalker,
She's in the last one?
I suppose.
Yeah, that's the last one. What did she play, though?
Oh, it's far down the list. Ray's mother is what she played.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you wouldn't recognize
So
her.
she
from
played
there.
she played a Palpatine.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen her in a lot, but I could see it.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, that would be almost like that Tom Holland-esque of bringing in an actor that they're choosing to develop versus somebody that's well known.
Right.
I mean, Margot Robbie is going to pull in people no matter what, or you could take the risk of getting Jodie Comer and really developing her into something awesome. But
Dude, but like, can you just imagine the box office draw if your main two leads are Adam Driver and Margot Robbie?
unreal.
Because Margot Robbie is the actress right now of like our generation, honestly.
100%, yeah.
Right now, she's like, you get her in a movie, it's like gonna do well.
Yeah. And she's good too. She's not just like the super attractive woman. I mean, she is very attractive, but
She's got range.
Yeah,
She has range.
she's amazing. Like, she's a really great actress and is well known for that. Aside from her looks, I mean, they obviously help her, but
Well, she's gonna be, because she's in the Barbie movie. That movie's going to
Yeah.
do well.
100%.
I'm not gonna go see it probably, just because
Dude, I might.
they have a lot of like, they have a very interesting cast.
Yeah.
They have Simu Lee, they have Michael Cera, they have obviously Ryan
I was
Gosling.
gonna say that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Can't remember all the women in that. It's weird that I remember the men more than the women, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, man, I don't.
It looks weird. Looks
Right.
really weird.
But it's still probably going to do really well, and that's because of her.
100%. Yeah.
Because of her, and probably Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling will probably pull. It's the combination, but she's at least 51%.
Right.
So
And okay, so we go into the thing now. This is one that was rumored and has been debunked, thank God. So it's not happening. But Mila Kunis was being rumored for the thing for a while, and I would have rioted.
that is crazy. Why? What? I'm so confused.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense.
I just
Like-
don't like
It's Meg as the thing. Because she would be in a motion capture suit the whole time, for the most
Right.
part, because she's playing a rock monster.
Right.
And that voice to me doesn't make sense.
I'm so confused. Like, that doesn't like process in my brain why they would even think to do that.
Because I want to try something different. I don't.
I mean, like, if you're gonna, I can see that more as being what's his name, the fire guy,
Human Torch.
Human Torch. I can see them pulling a woman in for that.
Well, they've already race swapped him before.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
With-
Michael B. Jordan.
So that's not like out there.
Yeah,
But like, I think if you have Adam Driver and Margot Robbie, I think you lose people on Mila Kunis as the
yeah,
thing.
it's a weird.
So yeah, no, I pretty much just want to bring that up to talk about how ridiculous
Yeah,
that is.
I've heard John Cena.
I had heard John Cena. I didn't write John Cena down. I would have been okay with John Cena.
I would have too. I think that'd be a good pick.
But the thing to me, it's all about the voice for the thing. Mm-hmm. So I would almost be, rather than cast like a guy who's done a voice before, over, not saying that he couldn't do it, because I'm sure John Cena could very well do it.
Right.
But to see him, like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's the same, like, it's like Vin Diesel as Groot. It's like you pulled him for his voice. He doesn't do any acting for that.
Right.
So what you could do, they could totally CGI the thing for the whole movie.
But I mean, they did bring Michael Chiklis when they did the original two Fantastic Four movies. He did play like Ben Grimm.
Interesting.
Without the rock powers for a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
So in that sense, I think Cena would be really good in that part. But I think he could do it. He just wouldn't be my first pick.
No, you need someone a little bit more gruff and deep a little bit. I don't know. There's better out there, I think, than Cena, unless you're doing, like you said, pulling him in for actual acting.
Right. And so I saw this one, and I don't know if it's a rumor or not. I'll be completely honest, but this is kind of my pick for Thing, if I had to pick, and it's Alan Ritchson.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I love him.
That would be, I think, a phenomenal Thing pick.
100%. He's built for that.
He also voiced Raphael in the live-action Michael Bay Ninja Turtles.
Did he actually?
Yes, he was Raphael. Yeah, I found that out a couple years ago, and I was like, wow, because I haven't seen those movies.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing that's like, let's see those. So maybe
I kind of liked them.
Maybe I need to go see them.
Yeah.
Because I am huge into the Ninja Turtles. But yeah, I right now he's like, I saw that, and I'm like, that makes too much sense.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you said that. I like just found Reacher and I've watched the whole thing. I watched it all in like 2 days. And I mean, it's not like a lot, but I love that actor. Like he's humongous too. You could just put a suit on him and make him look like he's a rock monster, and he's good.
And he's already familiar with the superhero franchise because he played Aquaman in Smallville.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
And he also played Hawk in Titans.
Wow.
And Hawk's kind of that angry dude.
Yeah.
So
he's in Fast and Furious right now.
I heard he was in that. Right. So I'm like, I'm all in on him being the Thing. So I'm kind of hoping that happens.
That's a good pick.
Yes.
I hadn't heard anything about that. That's a great pick.
So this is the other one that I heard. And I'm not sold on it yet. But maybe I would need like a trailer, and then I'd be like, okay. But Daveed Diggs.
Oh, Hamilton guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. As
the Thing. That was a rumor.
Horrible voice for that.
That's kind of where my thought process went.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he's got one of those like higher voices. Like
I'm all for him being in the MCU. The Thing doesn't fit, I don't feel like.
I don't think anyone in the Fantastic Four fits. I just don't. He should be something else. I don't think the Thing is the move for him.
No, because the guy, there was another guy from Hamilton that is in the new Transformers movie. You like that guy?
Oh yeah, Anthony Ramos.
Yeah, he's going to be the villain in Ironheart series.
Let's go.
He's playing the Hood. So he's already in that. So I'll be very interested to see how he does there, because I like the Hood. The Hood's got some like, hopefully they keep him around too, but the Hood's got some like oomph to him that's kind of fun. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't see the Thing. I don't know what I see him as, but it's not the Thing.
No, not at all. His voice just doesn't like it. If that's the only thing that's stopping it. He's a great actor. He's in, what else is he in? He's in Wonder. You seen that movie?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, that's a depressing movie.
It is a depressing movie. I can't think of anything else that he's been in recently. I've only seen him in like advertisements.
He was in the, I believe it was the Snowpiercer show.
Oh, yep.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
I think he was in that though.
He was. Yeah, you're right.
So I don't know. Again, these are all rumors. So who knows? But like, I can't see it.
No, not at all. That's a weird pick. I don't know why they would do that.
All right, so now we're going to go to Johnny, and this is the main one that I've been hearing for Johnny, and that's Paul Mescal, who I have no idea who that is.
I don't either. I've heard Zac Efron.
That's also on my list.
Nice.
Zach is on my list. I think the problem with Zach, I think he's too old.
I was thinking about that too. He can't play Baywatch Zach again.
No, and also, never mind. I won't go into that. His jaw is like,
Dude, have you heard the story behind that?
uh-uh.
He like was running around his house in socks.
He broke his jaw.
And he hit his head on a marble fountain.
He broke it.
He broke his jaw.
Because there was rumors that he got now I feel bad, but because from what rumor wise, it was like, oh, he got jaw surgery, like he got
like
plastic surgery or something. I'm like, his jaw looks like it's messed up.
Dude, yeah. It's apparently...
It looks like it was sculpted. It looks like Squidward when he hits his face into the pole and then turns handsome. Yeah, that's what he looks like right now. So, man, I feel bad for him. But
it's apparently it's his masseter muscles, which are like sorry, I'll stop.
No, go.
It's I'm curious. His jaw muscles, like they overdevelop because of physical therapy.
Really?
Yeah. And so it's like they're just humongous now.
Too much jaw-size?
Too much jaw-size, man.
Tough. Yeah.
But if I do jaw-size and I come out looking like Zac Efron, I won't complain. So
I've got Paul Mescal.
He's did nothing that I've heard of.
Yep, I haven't heard of him either. From what I can tell, he's got the look.
Yeah.
But let's see. How old is he? That's the question. He's 27. So, and Tom Holland is, to me, Johnny needs to be the same age as Spider-Man.
I was going to say, they need like a Timothée Chalamet, Tom Holland.
Tom is 26. So I think if they're going for the age range, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because Johnny and Spider-Man are very good friends in the comics. They're very good. Like they've been roommates in the past.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main things I want to see in the future is Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four, because that's like Pete's like second family in the comics is the Fantastic Four. Like they all know his secret identity, that they're one of the few groups of people that know who he is.
Yep.
Back in the comics when Johnny Storm sacrificed himself, Spider-Man stepped in and became the fourth member of the Fantastic Four.
That's so cool.
On other like What If comics, he's a member of the Fantastic Four. So to me, it makes too much sense for this guy.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it.
What if you had Tom Holland's little brother?
That'd be kind of funny.
That'd be kind of funny. I don't think it'd be good. No. They look too much alike.
So the other one that I heard about back when they were looking for casting was Joe Keery from Stranger Things.
Oh, interesting. Which one is that?
He's the dude with the hair.
Okay.
Like the main dude. Like everybody's he's so hot. That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Okay.
Yeah. So I think attitude-wise makes sense. The dude can do the cocky. Like,
right.
I know I'm good looking. I just feel like he can do that. Look-wise, I'm not sure.
I think he's attractive because he's awkward looking. Like, I think that's what all these girls are like obsessed with right now are the awkward looking dudes. But I think you need someone that's that like college frat boy douchebag for Johnny Storm.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sold on Joe, but now that I keep hearing that Paul Mescal and like looking at him, I'm like, I might be the guy right there.
The last picture I had on my phone was him in a mullet. So I think anyone with a mullet can probably pull off Johnny Storm.
Fair enough. Yeah, you got to have an like what's the word that I want? You have to have a lot of confidence to pull off.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so the last two, because these are like the two main Fantastic Four villains that get thrown around. I'll start off with Doom. There have been no rumors for Doom lately.
Interesting.
Because the rumor is that Galactus will be the main threat.
I
don't know how I feel about that for him being the number one threat in the first movie, just because of what they did in the last Fantastic Four movie with Galactus being a storm cloud that eats people. So,
yeah,
I haven't heard a lot, but the first rumor for Doctor Doom was Adam Driver.
Oh, what do you do then?
Then the rumor was Mr. Fantastic. So when he first met with Marvel, that was the rumor. He's meeting for Doctor Doom.
I could see that.
And then they talked, and then it changed to Mr. Fantastic. That's the rumors.
I'm glad they switched, because it would have been really good, but it's very close to the Star Wars character that he played.
You think it's close to Kylo?
I think so.
There is a certain amount of intelligence that also has to go into Doom.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So I would be interested to see, because to me, to do Doctor Doom right, and also Doom needs to be the most important villain the MCU has when he arrives.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. We have not had Doom done right.
100%.
Doom needs to, when Doom steps on the screen, there needs to be fear, and you need to feel his presence.
Yeah. It needs to be like Kang, like everyone's just afraid of him.
It needs to be like Thanos,
Yeah.
but maybe higher.
That's crazy.
That's to me,
Yeah.
because the craziest thing is in the comics, the only time that Earth is in peace is when Doom rules. When Doom wins, takes over the whole world, that's the only time it's in peace.
That's crazy.
Yes. So Doom is a badass. He needs to take over. That dude throws around with the best of them. He's not only science, he's also magic. The dude, you don't play around with him.
Right.
So, not saying Adam Driver couldn't do it, but I almost want a little bit more ferocity.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the word that I want? Sure. Sounds like a word. We're going to go with
Yeah,
it.
that's a
Yes.
word for sure.
Yeah. So, yes, that's what I want. So here was back in Black Panther 2 rumors when Doctor Doom was being thrown around. And this is my pick, but I think he might be too old for their liking. And with Javier Bardem.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that.
He would be great.
He would be really good.
But I think he's too old.
I agree.
But he would be fantastic.
Because he needs to be the same age as whoever's playing
Reed.
Yeah.
He needs to be opposite Reed.
Yeah.
Because him and Reed are like friends, but
Enemies and
it's a really weird relationship. It's like they hate each other, but he's also like, Reed, I want you to be my best man at my wedding kind of thing. It's super weird.
they're very like because they're very similar before everything happens and before they change
Right.
into who they are.
And then it's like they have a very mutual respect for each other.
Yeah, that's
But at the same time, their philosophies are very different.
100%.
So Javier, man, ruling the kingdom, like it just makes so much sense.
So good.
It's just not going to happen. Now, here's the interesting one that I Googled this, and I was like, this might be badass if they can pull this off. Henry Cavill.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think it happens, but I'm like, he might be able to pull that off.
That would be amazing. Because he's got the look, he's got like everything you need. Very similar age to Adam Driver. They look similar. I don't know how old he actually is. He still looks pretty young.
And did you see him play a villain in Mission Impossible?
Yeah, I did.
He's pretty good in that.
He's pretty good.
So I'm like, and I know for a fact he could pull off the intelligence.
Oh, 100%.
For sure. So I'm like,
he's got like the good, like soft spoken energy of like, he doesn't talk much necessarily. He doesn't need to, at least, to convey the like power that he has.
right.
I mean, he was Superman. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
It might be really sneaky good.
Yeah, I agree. I think people would be like a little bit tentative at first, but I think they'd end up leaving and be like, yup, that was awesome.
He's also kind of got the build too that he would like take over.
It's a powerful look. That's how I would describe it. He has a very powerful look.
Yeah.
So
True.
that'd be good.
Well, and then here's the final one, Galactus, and I don't know if I like it or not. Because for me, I'm like, I want like a very deep, like almost like the guy who I don't know why his voice isn't coming to me right now. Voiced Mufasa.
Yep.
Voiced Darth Vader. James Earl Jones.
Yes.
That's kind of the voice I would like for Galactus.
Deep, powerful voice.
The rumors that have been going around are Antonio Banderas. Puss in Boots.
Ah.
Could he do it? Maybe, yeah.
He probably could.
But do I want it? I don't know.
If he wanted it, he would have had to say no to Puss in Boots. Like, I just don't like that.
Well, it's who I had in my head, and I saw this as a fan casting, but I really liked it. If you've ever seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
yeah,
the guy who plays Captain Holt,
yeah,
I think that voice is that level of, you need that
100%
deep voice, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm trying to think of other people that even have that voice. I mean, like, that rock style voice. I feel like The Rock is a very powerful voice, something like that, where it's just very deep. Or like Jason Momoa, his voice, he's got that vibe of powerful.
I
Almost deeper though.
I almost feel like you just need a voice actor
Yeah.
for Galactus over like an actual actor, like somebody who's more known for their voice
Yep.
than their
And,
acting.
Yeah, you could use little pieces of their face, but you could CGI most of Galactus, right? Like it's not.
Well,
I think, well,
you're going to
yeah.
have to, part of it, because
Right.
he's gigantic.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I mean, you could cover up. I'm looking at him right behind here. You could cover up most of his face and just CGI a little bit, or
Right.
you just need his mouth and nose.
Right.
So I can see that. I can see anyone with a powerful voice. I don't think you need a great actor at this point for
Right.
that character, I should say.
Right. And it depends on how you want to bring him in and what the plan is, but I don't know if there's going to be a lot of reasoning.
Yeah, and you could pull him in like you did. They did Thanos in the first Avengers, the end credit scene.
I almost,
You don't show a little bit. You don't have to decide now either.
right.
So I don't know.
But all right, so those are the casting rumors for Fantastic Four. We'll do Superman really quick. I only have a couple for each. And the only rumors I've seen are Superman, Lois, Lex, because they haven't really gone into the plot and the characters that are going to be in it.
Yep.
It sounds like James has a couple villains in mind for this movie. Superman, there are two. There is Jacob Elordi, who is best known for Euphoria, the main douchey
Okay.
guy from Euphoria.
I haven't seen that show. I love.
I haven't either, but I know who the
show.
guy is. I think he used to date Zendaya before Tom. I think maybe,
Frick that guy.
but I don't know. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. I think he dated one of them. It doesn't matter. Euphoria is weird.
What's his name? What's his last name?
Jacob Elordi, Elordi.
Got it. Oh, I know him. Yeah.
He's got a very Superman-esque vibe
No, but I mean,
in the face.
He's got a little bit of it.
Now, this one, I've never heard of this guy, but when you look at him, you're like, that's Clark Kent. And
All right, let's
he's
hear it.
right now the leading. And it's David Corenswet. So it's CORENSWET. And it's interesting because they were talking about picking a star.
Yeah.
Like they wanted an up and comer, essentially. This guy looks like Superman.
100%. Yeah, that's a great picture of him. I can see that.
He's kind of reminiscent of Henry Cavill in some
I was
senses.
thinking that same thing of like they kind of like Henry Cavill was a really good Clark Kent and Superman look. Like he's
So to me, that would be my pick. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen him in anything.
I was gonna say,
but you look at him and you're like,
I feel like you almost have to see him in a suit to like really know. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because I want him to be like someone that's bigger and bulkier, can really fill it out versus
he can build into that.
That's true. I don't want it to turn out like Shazam where you can very easily tell it's super padded and just like a huge chunk of a suit.
Well, also Henry Cavill, I think, was one of one. I don't think you're ever going to get another guy like that.
Yeah, he's got the perfect genetics for Superman. He is Superman.
Right. So there's going to have to be some give and take, I think. But
yeah.
And I'm hoping it's one of those things where they have to take the muscle padding out. Like with Ryan Reynolds, they had to do that.
Yeah.
So
they did have Black Adam too.
Right.
Didn't have any padding for anything. So that's,
So Lois Lane, I have Emma Mackey and Rachel Brosnahan. Rachel Brosnahan is the main actress in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay. And Emma who?
And Emma Mackey, can't remember what she's in. I have to look her up because I actually didn't look her up before.
She actually looks a lot like Margot Robbie.
Emma Mackey does?
Yeah, look at this picture of her.
Oh, yeah, she does.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, okay. She's in that sex ed show on Netflix.
Okay, yep. Yeah.
I like Rachel Brosnahan. I think her look feels more Lois.
Yeah. And Emma Mackey also is in Barbie. She's going to be in Barbie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So there's that. And then Rachel Brosnahan.
Yes, she's main actress in Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Okay. Yeah.
The only thing I've seen her in, oddly enough, was The Blacklist. And yeah,
Good
she's
show.
she's only in for about 4 episodes.
Well, yeah, she definitely looks like Lois Lane. You need someone that's like a little more low key, like isn't super attractive almost.
I disagree with that.
Really? You think it's got to be like
Because she's the star reporter.
right? That's
So
fair.
to me, she's like, she has TV, newscaster vibes.
I guess I don't think of her as TV. I think more of someone on the sidelines, like writing.
That
stuff
is what
down.
she is.
Yeah.
But she's also like big name
Right.
journalist,
The
star.
number one.
So I can see
I can see that.
her being hot.
Yeah.
So, and then the last one was Lex Luthor, and I actually really like this pick. And it seems like they have it dialed in to this being the guy, Nicholas Hoult. So the guy who played
Oh.
Beast in X-Men First
Yeah.
Class. He's also playing. He's in the Renfield movie with
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage. And yeah, I think he could nail a good Lex Luthor.
I think so too.
Because he can also go off on the deep end if he needs to.
Right.
Like he has that range.
Yeah.
And he's already played intelligent characters before, and he's also played those rageful, insane characters. Because he played the crazy guy in Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The really
Okay.
crazy guy that's like all hyped up on Diesel. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was him. So I think he'd be phenomenal as Lex Luthor, to
I
be
agree.
honest.
Do you think they shave his head, or do you think they keep the
You
hair?
have to shave his hair.
I know- Well, they didn't in one of the Superman movies.
Yeah, and that's a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
The other one that I saw rumored, and I don't think it'll happen because I think, again, he's too old, and they want to keep this cast younger, Bradley Cooper.
Oh, I love me some Bradley Cooper though.
No, but isn't that a weird choice? I
That
feel
is
like
a weird
I feel like
choice.
he could do it, but he's not like when I think of Lex Luthor, he's not where my head goes.
No, I don't think it's somebody that's like crazy and super intelligent. Most of the time, I mean, I haven't seen movies that he plays something even close to Lex Luthor.
Right.
So, I mean, and it's hard. Rocket Raccoon, you're just gonna hear his voice. You can tell when you see him and when you
Right.
hear it. So, I can see it though.
Well, that's the casting rumors.
Right.
Nailed that
Yeah.
right off the get go. So, in true JP and the Beanstalk fashion, we're gonna go with the smoothest transition possible, and we're just gonna jump right into the Spider-Verse because that comes out the week of this podcast release.
Let's go. Is that pre-podcast release? Or
Yes,
is that,
this will come out on Monday,
Yep.
and then Across the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
Across.
Not into across.
Across, yes. That comes out that Thursday.
Okay.
I
Yep.
think the 4th. Or
So it's perfect. This is
or the 2nd.
preparing everybody for.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
So now, usually when we talk about movies before they come out, we always talk about who's going to live, who's going to die. That's like our main thing here on JP and the Beanstalk. But it's an animated movie. I don't think a lot of people are going to die.
No.
So
It's not going to hold the same weight if they do.
no. What we can do, we can talk about all the different variants of Spider-Man in this movie because that's the focus. We're seeing all these different Spider-Men. Okay.
Hundreds. Yeah.
One thing that bums me out before we get into this is like most of Into the Spider-Verse cast is not coming back for this movie.
I noticed that in the ads or in the trailers.
Nick Cage, Spider-Man Noir, gone. Spider-Ham. Now, in Spider-Ham's defense, Mulaney was going through a drug relapse at this time. So that one kind of makes sense why he's not here.
Yeah.
I love him. So thank God he's better. But he's gone. The Spider anime-esque girl,
Yeah.
gone. So that's half the squad at least. And I'm trying to think if I'm missing a Spider-Man, but I don't think I am because Miles is coming back, Gwen's coming back,
Yeah.
and
2099.
Spider-Man,
Or,
Peter B. Parker. is
yeah.
coming back
2099 was in the first one, right?
at the end
Briefly.
credits.
Yeah.
You see him recruiting Spider-Man
Yeah, with
because
the wrist thing.
Right.
Yeah.
the last one he recruits is the 1960s cartoon. And then they do the meme and then it ends.
Yep.
Yeah. So those are the ones that are returning, those three. Obviously Peter B. Parker coming back. Thank God.
Oh my god.
He's going to be so much fun.
I love
And
him.
you know that baby is getting kidnapped 100%.
Yep.
In the Spider-Verse comics, I'm pretty sure Mayday Parker is like the chosen one.
Okay.
Like,
Mayday Parker.
yes. So in the original Spider-Verse comics, it was these vampires essentially, but they feasted on animal spider totems is what they call them. So anybody they feasted on Spider-Man from
Yeah.
different universes. Like they killed them, ate them. That's how they got their energy from. So, but there are three like main Spider-Men. There was like the other who's like the crazy monster. then there's the Chosen One, essentially, and then there's one other one, whatever. So there's like this huge prophecy. These are who are going to take the vampires down, etc. My guess is she's going to be the main, like,
the biggest.
she's going to be the Chosen One eventually. Obviously, she's a baby, so it ain't going to happen in this movie. But I can see her getting kidnapped at some point and be like, oh no, the baby, they got the baby. Because that's usually how babies go. They get kidnapped or they do something stupid.
Yeah.
Like, stupidly good.
Right.
And you're like, why? Baby Yoda, prime example.
Yep, 100%.
So, whatever. But Peter B. Parker's coming back. Excited for him. He's not even in the cat. Oh, he is. Jake Johnson. Love Jake Johnson.
Oh my gosh. So good.
Shameik Moore as Miles Morales, obviously, main guy.
Yep.
Haley Seinfeld, Gwen Stacy. I think it would be more fun to talk about all the other new ones that they're introducing.
Yeah.
So we can obviously start off with Spider-Man 2099, Oscar Isaac. I don't know how I feel about his character. Because to me, they're really showing him as being more of the main villain.
I was going to say, he's the antagonist, I think.
Over the Spot, who's supposed to be like the villain.
I think they're going to lean more into the Spot in part 2. So I think they'll show the Spot a decent amount in this one. And I honestly, so what I think the dad's going to die. I think Miles' dad's going to die.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think, because, I mean, from what I've heard, like, I think the 2099, there's a lot of, I think his kids are in danger too in some capacity or something like that. And then the dad's somehow going to get sacrificed, and it'll be a similar thing to Spider-Man No Way Home, where he messes something up in the multiverse.
See, because that's where it gets interesting, because something pits 2099 against Miles.
Yeah.
So something pits, we don't know at this point in time. And I don't know if, to me, it's he wants to save somebody that 2099 thinks he has to eliminate because they will be the doom of
interesting
of all the Spider-Men. So kind of a thing on the
prophecy.
prophecy.
It'll be like an ethical thing of like you can't kill somebody that's
right
like this, where Miles Morales is just like, well, we have to save them.
Well, he was already super pissed about No Way Home Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Which, by the way, the fact that they're like, no, that is not the 616, that is 1099.99 is awesome.
Yep.
Okay, leave the 616 as the comics. That's how it should be. But he was already pissed about that. So to me, I'm trying to figure out like what the anomaly is. And it's either going to be with Spider-Gwen. They already dropped a poster where she's falling and Miles is trying to save her. Which, by the way, if she dies the same way as the other Gwens, that's hilarious in my opinion. But it won't happen. To me, I think what's more likely is that Peter was not supposed to have Mayday.
Oh, interesting.
And because he went to another dimension and came back, he had that kid. But that kid was not supposed to happen. He was not supposed, that universe, he was not supposed to get back together with MJ. His life was supposed to be depressing.
But it's because of the Kingpin's deal.
Right. And so now that kid is an anomaly.
Yeah.
And they think that kid is going to be the Ender, essentially, the chosen one. That is my thought process. Because I can't think of anything else that would make Miles be like, what are you doing? Like, why are we going up against each other?
Yeah.
And it looks like this Miguel O'Hara is like so far down the rabbit hole. Like,
he was crazy a little bit.
Right. He needs something to snap him out of it. So he lost somebody important to him, whether that's his wife, his lady, most likely it's his lady, or his kid. I don't know. But that's my thought process.
Interesting. I could definitely see that being the case. I guess I hadn't processed through all that.
I just did it now.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like in the past with this podcast, you have a pretty good history of guessing, honestly.
Or we're way off.
You should keep like a tally of how many times you're right.
Suicide Squad, we were pretty accurate. Like if we go back on that one, we were pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But then if you go back to our No Way Home predictions, terrible. So off. Nothing close. Which I'm happy about. Yeah. But like I don't think, obviously I think something else is going to happen and Miguel and then we'll like be like, okay, put it aside. we have a bigger threat. Because there is this bigger threat that's been rumored. Like, it was rumored at the end of Into. And so to me, it's like, I don't think the Spot is that guy. I do not think the Spot is the big bad.
Yeah.
I think he will be a focus because I think he's going to be more of like, because he's the portal to the multiverse, essentially. He's a living portal. So I think he's going to be more of like a catalyst. I don't think he's going to be the main villain, and I don't know who it will be.
So remind me, what happened to Kingpin at the end of Into?
Can't remember. Did he die?
I can't remember that either. Or did they send him into like some multiversal
I want to say he
dimension?
died.
Because I mean, from what I've heard, I think Kingpin hired this Spot in the comics, correct, to create that machine, right?
That might be right.
Because he said he's like hired him for the cloak or whatever that helped him travel across, and he wanted to create a similar thing to get his wife and kids back. But I can't remember what happened to Kingpin at the end of Into. I know there was a huge battle. He got hit by a train or something like that. I think he went into a different multiverse.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh, okay.
I'm trying to figure that. I'm sorry. I was like half listening, and then I was also looking it up. And yeah, because Miles electrocutes the crap out of him.
Yeah.
I
think he just sends him into the multiverse. I think that's what happened, right?
Fisk. So electrocuting and incapacitating Fisk long enough to use his own body to push the button that caused the machine to implode and ultimately destroyed it. No, so he got arrested.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's it.
So I wonder if, I don't know that he's big enough he's a street level villain. I don't know that he's big enough to have anything
Spot's so
anything.
weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird that it's a fun choice, but I just can't see him being the main choice.
Well, in the comics, he's always downplayed. Like, he's a side character, not that important,
right?
Not that powerful.
To me, it's also interesting that they strayed away from Morlun, who's like the main Spider-Verse vampire leader guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was always interesting to me that they just chose not to follow that at all.
Right. Especially when it's something that has like so many roots in the Spider-Verse, like where all the other Spider-Men are. So, yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
But, so, yes. So we have Miguel. We're getting a different version of Jessica Drew than the comics. The only thing they kept the same was that she's pregnant.
Yep.
So this time she's more of a hip black lady than just a white Hydra agent, former Hydra agent.
They showed a picture in the preview or in the trailer, a very quick clip of the like comic accurate Jessica Drew.
Oh, they did show a comic accurate one. That's interesting.
Did. Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what they'll do with her character. Because to me, it's just going to be a new take, which is completely fine because Jessica Drew is not that well known in the first place.
No. So you don't hear about Spider-Woman, you hear about Spider-Girl.
And it's the Spider-Verse.
Right.
Like the whole thing is going to be do whatever you want.
Different takes on different spiders. So
have fun with it.
Yeah.
Go crazy. So, but I think the most interesting part though is out of all of it, like they're like, you know what, we're gonna keep because this was Jessica Drew in the comics main like thing that they advertised, pregnant.
Yep.
That was like the whole thing. She's pregnant. So they got a pregnant lady running around. I just think that's a weird choice.
Yeah, I agree.
So, like, if she's going to be making pregnant lady jokes all the time, that feels like that's what it's going to be.
Because that's the staple of her character.
So, did she have a motorcycle?
I think she did.
So, she's probably going to be a badass.
Yeah.
But, again, why are you making her pregnant?
I don't know. Have you heard the clip of Stan Lee talking about why he created Spider-Woman?
No.
He just thought that somebody else was going to steal the word Spider-Woman. So he wanted to create a comic first.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't either. I think that's a great idea.
Shit, they just introduced Spider-Boy.
Did they? Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. That whole thing was like, it was another Spider-Verse event because after the first time, they're like, we can make so much money off the different versions of Spider-Man. Let's do another one. He comes in and he's like, you don't remember me? Like, no one remembers him at all. Like, he's been erased from everyone's minds and histories.
Yeah.
But he's just like, he's been Spider-Man's Robin the whole time. And it's like, what?
What are you talking about?
What? Why?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Oh,
so,
weird.
okay. So we have Jason Schwartzman as the Spot, which I'm super excited for.
Who does he play in anything else?
It's It's a good question. You'd have to look him up.
Okay.
He does a lot of oddball roles, I feel like.
Is he primarily a voice actor, or does he do?
No, he's mainly an actor.
Okay.
He's in that new Wes Anderson movie coming out. He looks. I think he's one of the main guys in that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Which, by the way, that new Wes Anderson movie has like 90 different stars in it.
Oh my gosh, they just pulled.
They have everybody.
From A-list actors.
Yeah.
They pulled everyone in.
I always get worried about those movies because you have too many A-listers and you get a little concerned. But
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Wes Anderson also kind of weirds me out a little bit. His style is weird.
His style is super weird.
I kind of like it, but I kind of am just like
I've never watched any of his movies.
I'm sure you have. There's one really popular one that you might.
Oh, really?
Know of. Yeah.
But I'm excited for the spot, though. I think he'll be cool. Like, it's fun to see a Spider-Man villain that would never get highlighted in a movie, seriously. You would never bring the Spot into a live-action movie as the main antagonist.
Right.
You wouldn't do it. That's dumb. He would be he'd be like on the same level as Shocker. That's what he would be. He would be a Kingpin henchman, essentially.
Right.
So it's fun to see him get some spotlight. No pun intended.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Didn't even do that on purpose. But yeah, I'm excited for him. And he just looks really awkward and gross.
Yeah,
so
he
it'd
looks
be fun.
weird. I think it's a good way it's a really good space to use that character and really pull something out of it too. Because like you said, you're not going to pull it into a real Spider-Man movie.
No.
So they're kind of abusing the fact like, hey, this isn't a real Spider-Man movie. Let's take something weird and run with it.
Why not?
Yeah.
It worked for him in the first one, though.
100%. Yeah.
Because to me, what the most fun about that was going into that is they established it's a different universe. So anything can really happen.
Yep.
That Dr. Octopus reveal in that movie, if that would have happened in a regular Spider-Man movie, I would have been probably pissed because I want to see Otto Octavius.
Yep.
But that twist was so well done, and it surprised me because it's like, oh, this is your version's Dr. Octopus in this universe.
You would have never guessed it.
I love it
Yeah.
because I was surprised. I'm like, oh, and she's actually really fun.
Yeah, and it
She's a fun character.
holds no weight to anything else. It's not canon. You can
Right.
just do whatever you want.
Take advantage of that. The world's your sandbox, essentially, is what it comes down to.
Yep.
So, Daniel Kaluuya is going to be Spider-Punk. Super excited about that.
Love him.
That feels like that's going to probably be one of the most comic accurate characters.
Yeah.
His voice in the trailer was phenomenal. Like, this dude's going to be awesome. And he's a great actor, too.
He's amazing.
So,
It'll be fun to see him there.
he will be fun, especially rocking the guitar out there. Spider-Punk will be a lot of fun. Karan Sony is playing Spider-Man India, which is the guy who plays Dopinder in Deadpool. He's the one voicing
really?
Spider-Man India. I think that'll be a lot of fun, too.
I think that's a great, all the characters will be fun.
Right.
I think that's the point, which is great.
And they did like a crazy redesign of Spider-Man India, by the way. If you look up
really?
Spider-Man India in the comics compared to Spider-Man India in this movie, like total redesign.
Interesting. Also get into that.
So I think it works for this one because it's like, it's
different.
right. And then the last one I want to discuss because this is one of my favorite actors of all time. He's rumored to be in, well, he is in it. They have not confirmed his role yet. Andy Samberg is in this movie. And the rumor is he's going to be Ben Reilly Spider-Man,
Okay.
which would be super awesome.
That would be amazing.
He would be a great Ben Reilly.
I could also he'd be a great Spider-Man.
He would be. He'd be
He's
a
got the
great,
voice. He's,
right.
Oh my gosh.
I love Andy. So I'm very, especially if they go with the Ben Reilly route where he's more of like a fun Ben Reilly instead of like the crazy Ben Reilly. Because Ben Reilly in the comics in the last 10 years, it's not gone well for Ben. He like was a bad guy and then became a good guy again and then lost like all his memories and went back into a bad. Right now he goes by Chasm. So if that tells you the direction that Ben Reilly went into lately, it's not good.
He's not doing well.
It's not good. They don't know what to do with Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see Ben Reilly because I can also see him being the one that dies.
Yeah.
Because usually he's like the hero sacrifice kind of guy.
Right. I wonder, so I think it'd be fun to see if you brought Andy Samberg back 20 years and put him in an actual Spider-Man suit. I think he's got the weird, awkward energy of Peter Parker. Like I could see that. I mean, I'm thinking specifically of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Right.
He's awkward and he's smart, but he's just misguided a little bit. Like, I don't know.
I love Andy, but I don't know what character I would really want to see him play in a superhero movie. I can't see him ever being a villain.
No. Can't take him seriously.
Right. I would almost, because I've been thinking a lot about Booster Gold lately. Because for some, I don't know. A couple episodes earlier, I actually was like, Zac Efron would do a really good Booster Gold.
Who's Booster Gold?
He's a DC character.
Okay.
He's like this cocky guy from the future. Gotcha. And he's like, he thinks he's a lot better than he is. Like, that's his whole thing.
That's Zac Efron.
Right. I can see Zac Efron do that. Honestly, Andy Samberg could do that too.
Yeah. I could almost see Andy Samberg being a Deadpool. Like, that kind of style would do really well for him.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'd definitely like to see him write like a Deadpool animated show or something like that. I think it would do really well.
Amazing.
So, all right. That is pretty much puts a wrap on the Into the Spider-Verse. I think that's the best we could like go into without like, because I think we've established that movie could go in any direction, and the trailers have done such a good job at giving us nothing.
Literally nothing. Yeah.
Because I think the Miles versus 2099 is a red herring, and I don't think that fight will last as long as it's being portrayed. And this is a part 1 of part 2, so the story does not end in this part. It ends in the second part.
Right.
So,
do you know when that's slated to come out?
Second part, I want to say the following year.
Oh, interesting. That's quick.
I want to say, let me look that up real quick.
See, I think that I could see this Spider-Man versus Spider-Man 2099 going further than what we think. Like, I could see that being the main battle throughout the whole movie, is being that fight against the two of them. Like, I could see him being the main antagonist, like having gone crazy and doing all that. Like, kind of a Killmonger-esque where he's got really good intentions, but he just goes about it the wrong way.
Right.
I could see that. But I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with the comics on this, but yeah, I like 2099. I think that would be a good route to go.
So it's called Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, March 29th, 2024.
It's so funny. Why do all the Spider-Man movies recently all have such similar names? Make it so confusing to talk about.
Far From Home, No Way Home.
Homecoming.
The Home trilogy, essentially.
Into Across Beyond.
To me, it feels like they're just trying to separate it because, you go the Raimi trilogy and then you go Garfield 2. I don't know what you call the Garfield one. And then the MCU Spider-Man trilogy is usually what they go by. So I don't know if they're being like, okay, this is the Home trilogy. Next trilogy was with Tom. It'll be something different.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Cool.
Last thing.
Let's go.
It's draft time, baby.
Let's go.
So this is the first time we've ever done this draft. This was your idea. This is all the credit for you. You wanted to do a draft. I figure with you being on here, this is the perfect timing for a draft. So we're going to go every other. Soul won the coin toss. We are drafting our Sinister Six. So the idea is that we're going to be picking our team to take out Spider-Man. And you guys can pick who did a better job. But if you're ready, I'm going to give you the floor.
Let's go.
So the only rule was it has to be a Spider-Man villain.
Yep.
That's the only rule.
All right. Well, I want to disclaim initially, this could be awful. I am so unfamiliar with the comics on everything. I haven't had time to read. I guess I have had time. I haven't used my time well to read a bunch of Spider-Man comics and really prep for it.
I don't even think you need to necessarily read the comics. I think Spider-Man as a whole, you have all these different media, forms of media for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You can pull out whatever you want.
I say most of mine are either from the movies or from the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show that I grew up on or something like that. So there's,
it's all good.
It could be horrible, but it also could be amazing. So I don't know. But I'm going first pick, Doc Ock. I think he's got the dub there.
It's the only pick. It has to be the first pick because he is always the leader.
100%. And he's strong. He's powerful. He's super smart. and he's like, I feel like he's been one of the most successful villains against Spider-Man. Like in all of, I feel like he's just done so well, and he's stuck around. And I think that's the only right pick.
I knew he was going to be gone.
I know
I knew he was going to be gone.
that was one of them. Like, I know one of us
Gone.
is going to pick it. I'm pretty sure I know your first pick too, based on that reaction now.
Well, my first pick, and this is honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, this was going to be my first pick no matter what, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Norman Osborn, Green Goblin. I want to look. He led the Dark Avengers. I would love to see what he would do. He's never been in that like Sinister Six role,
Yep.
but he is just as smart as Octavius, and I think he's had more success against Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like the dude killed Gwen Stacy. Also, for a weird part in time, had kids with Gwen Stacy, but that's a whole thing that's super weird that I don't think is. That might have got retconned. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's just bad guy stuff right there in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Like you slept with his girl. That's pretty messed up, man. But
It's like the weird messed up. Like it's worse than messed up. Like that's just rude.
dude, that whole thing was so unnecessary and made zero sense. But like, and then also his effect on Harry and his kids, and even like outside of him being Green Goblin, his influence with Oscorp is just huge.
Yeah.
So, and Willem Dafoe played him. So,
He's got power everywhere.
so I took Green Goblin. Okay,
All right.
it's your turn.
I had a pick. I don't know if I'm gonna go with it now. I was gonna go with Green Goblin number 2, but I knew that was gonna be one of the first ones, no matter what. I knew that was gonna steal from me. I'm gonna go picking right off the dome. I'm gonna say Carnage.
That's a bold pick.
It's a bold pick, but I think that he's so powerful. And he's like Venom. Venom is really good. He's arguably like better than. I mean, he's beat Carnage obviously, but there's been like some. I don't know how to describe it. Like even in the comics, like you tell, or in the Venom movie, Venom was afraid of Carnage.
Carnage is like when he was brought in, he was established to be stronger than Venom
Yeah,
because since he was Venom's kid, symbiotes' children are always stronger than their parents.
right. So, and like even the power, like he can make sharp objects. He can reach super far. He's got like just a different set of powers than Venom does. And if Venom had never been used on Spider-Man, I think that's like it's less arguable because there's times where Venom is good and like the anti-hero, but Carnage is like always bad.
My only issue with Carnage, you have to figure out a way to reel him in where he would be listening to Otto. To me, he's too much of a wild card. And
That's fair.
to be his teammate, I'd be like, I don't want to be close to you
Right.
because you might kill me
Yeah.
for fun. And I don't, that's the
Yeah.
only thing. But he'd be good if you
got
could
the
reel
power.
him in.
He's got the power.
So I'll go with my second pick because this was probably going to be my second pick, and it's Venom. And that's mainly because I think he's a more reeled in version of Carnage. Because I was like, first of all, I got to have a symbiote on my Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Because the symbiotes are so important to Spider-Man. I have to have one symbiote. And there's 4 you can go with. Venom, Carnage, Anti-Venom, and Toxin. Toxin, never talked about.
Yeah.
Anti-Venom, kind of an anti-hero, weird whole thing with him. So you go to Spider-Man and Carnage, or Venom and Carnage. I gotta go Venom. I think you can reel him in. And I think for the right reasons, I think Eddie would easily align himself. I mean, he already did. It wasn't Eddie who aligned himself, but Venom has worked with Norman before on the Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
It just was Matt Gargan. It was not Eddie. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's my number 2.
knew one of those was gonna get picked as well. So I thought Carnage was a good pick. I do agree though. Yeah, I think you kind of have to reel him in a good way. Third pick might be a little weird. I don't know if this is a good pick or not, but I think Kingpin. I feel like I have to take him. He's got so much power, street level. He's got the mobster and he's got super strength. Like he's kind of a big deal and has a lot of control and has a lot of reach, I would say. So like as a team member, you'd like to have Kingpin on your side.
you have resources
Yeah.
for sure.
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
The only thing with Kingpin is, and this is what like made me like hesitate on Kingpin, is like I feel like he has to be the head. Like he'd have to like
It's like
So,
the butt heads with Doc Ock. That would be
but Otto might be like, you can have it if you're going to give me whatever I want.
right. Yeah, it's hard to form a narrative there. We don't know what
Right.
that would be like.
So, I mean, in the Spider-Man animated cartoon that I grew up on, that's how it went. Kingpin made the Sinister Six.
Oh,
in
really?
that. Yeah.
Which series is that?
The 90s
Okay.
one. So it was, yeah. I don't know how to.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was the 90s Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made
go.
the Sinister Six.
Was Doc Ock on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it
there's
could very much
potential.
work. Yeah.
Let's go. I'll take it.
So, oh man. So I got a symbiote. I got a goblin. I was like, I had to have a goblin. I had to have a symbiote. This is where it gets really interesting for me. So I don't know who I want to take. I think I'm going to take Sandman.
That
Because
hurts.
I think I need a Clayface-esque character who can kind of take over a little bit. You know,
Yep.
take up a lot of space, take up a little space. Like he can take hits. I think I'm going Sandman on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I got on Sandman. He's not like huge. Like I'm like, oh, but as a team member,
You'd want him on your team.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the power there. That's a good pick. I think I had a list out, but now that we're talking about it, I'm like, I just don't think I want that. So I'm going Craven. I think that
Damn it.
yeah, he's got to be on the list there. He's like one of the best hunters. He's I don't even know how to describe him. He's just crazy.
Dude, I was between him and Sandman.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Craven's tracking abilities would be so
Oh my god.
amazing.
He's an animal.
Right.
You can track him down anywhere. And he's got an obsession with Spider-Man. Just because he's like the one animal or the one thing that he hasn't been able to.
You could
hunt
find
or kill.
anyone. You could find anyone with Craven. Even if you're like, okay, well, we're not looking for Spider-Man right now. We're looking for something else. He'd be able to find it.
Very quick, yeah.
That one hurt me. Okay. Man. So now I'm thinking.
Yep.
Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to take another powerhouse. I'm going to take Electro.
He was next for me.
Having that much electricity running around, he can fly, overload a lot of different power sources. I think I got to go Electro on that one.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. I think I need. So you took. See, I'm torn right now.
I have Goblin, Venom, Sandman, Electro.
See, now you took Goblin. That one hurt. I feel like I need one Goblin. I think I'm gonna pick Harry.
Oh, interesting. You're gonna go Harry Osborn.
over Hobgoblin.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a fair pick.
because I think he's got that relational. If we're going after Spider-Man, I think he's got a little bit of hold over him, mentally. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Harry, because he also has resources in Oscorp.
Right.
He can get whatever you need. He's not like the head. He's not going to be someone that's fighting for the leadership there.
Right.
I don't think. But I think he's powerful, and I think he can pull a little bit.
Okay.
I think I needed a pick like that. I think I needed a little bit of a crazy.
I feel like you have to have a Goblin.
Yeah.
Because if you would have took green, I had Hobgoblin written down. I was like, you have to have one
Interesting.
Goblin.
So I picked the one that you weren't going to pick either way.
Right. I was not
Okay.
going to pick Harry.
All right. Well, I'm taking Harry.
That's interesting. Okay.
Your response makes me feel a little bit like I'm regretting not picking Hobgoblin, but I'm just gonna roll with
Well,
it.
Harry just didn't cross my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it works.
Because he's basically just Green Goblin number 2.
Well, there's 14 different goblins.
There is, yeah.
There's 3 different Hobgoblins.
Yeah.
Then there's a demo goblin who's that's a whole nother thing. And then you have the Goblin Queen. There's so many goblins,
There's a
dude.
lot.
But you have to have one goblin, I feel like.
I just wanted an Osborn. I feel like that was the biggest thing.
It's fair, man. Okay. So I have. Okay, so this is going to be my 5th pick. Who do I want? Oh, I had that guy higher, but I think I need a muscle. I need some muscles. I'm going to take Rhino.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Rhino.
It's a good pick.
I need some. I just need a blunt object. I just need someone who's going to be like, I need you to run through that vault and just open it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take all the money and be done with it.
That's fair. That's good. He was next on mine too. You keep stealing all my picks. I think I don't even know where to go from here.
I was between him and another one.
Yeah. So I got Doc Ock, Kingpin, Carnage, Craven, and Harry. So I feel like I need some muscle too now, though, because I mean, Kingpin's he's not like I feel like his main strength isn't his strength.
This is your last pick, I think.
I know that's why I'm getting a little worried. So I feel like if you picked Rhino, I gotta combat that with Lizard.
That's a good pick.
I feel like that's a good source of strength. He's also got the sewage system. He can fly through there.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I feel like that's the equal
if
there.
you keep him in lizard form, that's a good pick.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Because if he ever reforms, Kurt is like a good guy. Like Kurt Connors is like, I don't want anything to do with this life. Please take this away from me.
I think Doc Ock can keep him in lizard form.
And then the lizard's like, I want to turn everybody else into lizards. And you're like, this is weird, man.
Yeah.
This is super weird. I don't know why you want to do that. No, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Okay, my final pick. Now, I might be picking this just because of relevancy right now.
Well, this is Mr. Relevant, technically.
Yes, but relevancy in the sense of like what's going on right now with Spider-Man. I'm going to take the spot at number 6.
That is interesting.
Because I feel like what could really change this up is having a guy that can get you in and get you out. And the spot's going to do that. He might be weird, and he's definitely going to be a pushover. But, dude, if you need to get out of a tough spot, you're like, dude, open a portal. Let's get out of here. Gone.
That's a good pick. See, I didn't even think about putting him on there because I'm like, he's not ever relevant besides like right now.
Well, I had a couple guys ranked ahead of him. I had Scorpion ranked ahead of him. I had Mysterio ranked ahead of him.
Yeah. Mysterio's tough because it's like so quickly you can just like tell it. Like, no, he doesn't have any powers.
Right. He's all about illusions.
Yeah.
So he's very good to get out of a pinch, essentially, because he's like misdirection.
Yeah.
But
he's not actually powerful.
That's it, though. He's just misdirection. It was between Scorpion and Rhino for me, and I almost took Scorpion, but I think Rhino's stronger.
I agree.
Scorpion's got like the acid and stuff that might come in handy, but
I think Rhino was the right choice.
Scorpion's strong in his own right.
Yeah.
But I also had Vulture very low on this list because he's old and decrepit, and also because I already have a flyer. I have with Goblin. Yeah. Like I don't need anybody.
You don't need a Vulture.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we need 2 people flying, Electro. And Venom technically got wings recently, so that's a whole thing. Yeah. But I also had Mr. Negative on this list.
I had him on mine too.
I don't know him well enough to really
he hasn't been around for very long. Wasn't his first like intro. I'm sure he was in the comics or something.
Well, he's responsible for creating Anti-Venom.
Okay.
So Eddie Brock loses the Venom symbiote.
Yep.
At one point in time. He has nothing. He gets cancer. On the verge of death. Mr. Negative comes in contact with him, touches him, and then it activates like some leftover symbiote crap in his bloodline.
Yep.
Creates Anti-Venom. And the whole thing with Anti-Venom is he's like a vampire but for symbiotes.
Okay.
Essentially. So this whole event happens with called Spider Island, where everybody gets Spider-Man's powers.
Cool. Okay.
And so the cure to that is Anti-Venom. So he comes in, takes the Spider-Man powers out of everybody.
With good intentions or with bad intentions?
Good intentions.
Okay.
So he's like an anti-hero.
Mr. Negative is?
Anti-Venom is.
Oh, Anti-Venom. Okay.
Because it's just the first iteration was Eddie Brock. I believe the current iteration is Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
Because he was Agent Venom for a while, and now I think he's Agent Anti-Venom.
Agent Anti-Venom, not just Anti-Venom.
Right.
All right.
I think so. Don't hold me to that.
I also had Shocker on my list. I wasn't sure. I felt like that was a decent pick for. They did him bad in the Tom Holland movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It wasn't like he's not worth anything in the Tom Holland.
It's so funny. The Shocker I grew up with was like a country boy, so he had this like Southern accent.
That is amazing.
He's like, yeah, it was so funny. But yeah, so I had a whole wild cards list in case like
everything got taken.
Well, because like I said, I was like, well, if I lose out on Green Goblin for some reason with the first pick, I'm going to take Hobgoblin. Yep. Hobgoblin wasn't a wild card for me. Shocker was a wild card for me. I wasn't going to pick him probably. Lizard was a wild card for me. Kingpin. If this was 3 people drafting, I think Kingpin would have went round 1.
Oh yeah,
because he would have been my pick to lead it if Goblin and Ock were off the board.
Right.
I had Hydro Man, just because that was a fun one. I felt like
I agree. Yeah, I like him.
Carnage was a wild card. I was like, I don't trust him at all, but I feel like I had to have a symbiote on there.
Yeah.
And then Chameleon was my other wild
interesting.
card.
He's got the belt, right? Isn't that the thing?
Right.
Yeah, he just flicks the belt and he changes into whoever.
Right. So it would be kind of fun for infiltration purposes, but
That's like a Mysterio-esque kind of thing. Like
right. But in different like uses, I guess.
Right. Different avenues of
Right.
misdirection.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was all the other ones I had. I mean, obviously that's the thing with Spider-Man. There's so many. He has probably arguably the best rogues gallery. Like the only other rogues gallery that goes head to head with Spider-Man is Batman.
I was saying, it's not even the same world. So,
Batman's rogues gallery is also awesomely insane.
Yeah.
Like he's got a lot of fun villains, but like Spider-Man, he's got some crazy ones. I mean, you could throw Beetle in there. You could throw like Boomerang because it is what it is. There's so many,
and they're all like, one of the things I realized when I was like researching for this is there's so many animal themed ones.
Oh yeah,
like all of them. Just because it's Spider-Man, all of them are animal themed.
Vulture, Rhino, Scorpion.
Say if you look on the list, Lizard.
Scorpion, Lizard. There was a.
You just said Beetle too.
Beetle. There is there was oh, there's so many. There's a it's not. I'm trying to think of what monkey he is.
Spider Monkey?
No, there's an actual like. Oh man, I can't even think of it. But there are a lot.
Yeah, and even like Kraven the Hunter is still in that animal category.
Oh yeah, for sure. But there's
Goblin,
there's a guy that's like an armadillo. There's a guy that's like an orangutan. There's a guy that's like a hog. Like there's so many. Like it's crazy, dude.
So we just looked at animals and we're deciding on Spider-Man villains.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's a good, yeah.
I mean, I love some of them.
I agree.
I always thought Vulture always needed a redesign. I like him a lot better in like the Spider-Man PS4 game.
Oh yeah.
By the way, the redesigns for those characters or the designs in those games for those characters, phenomenal.
Dude, sometimes I'll just go on and look at the Spider-Man suits.
Oh yeah,
that game,
dude.
So fun.
The Rhino redesign in that was phenomenal. The Scorpion redesign in that is phenomenal. I like Electro's look in that. Yeah. They did a fantastic job at designing those characters. So hopefully, like it's like a perfect balance of like tech yet homage to
the original comic,
right?
Yeah,
instead of the kind of the campy look,
which a lot of people are using right now,
right?
So yeah, I get it.
So. But yeah, I think that wraps it up, dude.
Yeah,
we are a crisp hour and 22 minutes into this. So, first of all, thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you,
Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, yeah, bastard. You better be tan when you get back
dude,
here.
He better be burnt.
You son of a
He
bitch.
better be burnt.
You better be red, lobster red.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll buy you some aloe.
You better be peeling by Monday.
I'm sure he will. He burns easily. Come on. He's a redhead. He's got it.
So funny. But if you like this, go subscribe to us on YouTube at JP and the Beanstalk. We are on TikTok at Magic Beans Productions. If you like listening to me and you want to hear me talk about other random crap, go check out Spill the Beans. Make sure you type in my name because otherwise there's like 14 podcasts with Spill the Beans, believe it or not.
Last episode you said there's like 100, so.
Well, whatever. There's too many.
Yeah.
Too many. I thought I was like, oh man, that's a unique name. That'll be fun. After I made it, I'm like,
there's a lot of beans to spill.
Right. Apparently. I'm like, whatever. So I was like, my name's in it. It works. But yeah, I think that's it. On that note, Godspeed.